In the last 30 years or so, the oil and gas industry has made immense technological advances and a considerable contribution to the world economy. We can justifiably be proud of our industry's technological achievements. And just as technology has evolved, so has our attitude to safety. We want our industry to be a safe place to work, with no accidents or injuries. But although our safety performance has improved significantly over the last decade, we're not there yet, and we need to understand why. These improvements have largely been due to our increased focus in a number of areas, including technological and engineering solutions, and work systems and procedures. However, we have now reached a plateau in our safety performance, and working harder in these areas may not be enough to achieve our objective of no accidents or injuries. So what's missing that could make a difference? In addition to engineered and procedural solutions, we believe our industry needs to develop a people-centred approach to safety. To make the leap to the next level of safety, we must focus on the human element, and we must find ways of ensuring safety is a core value, and that management and organisations implement the behavioural and cultural changes necessary to keep safety at the forefront of everybody's mind. In pursuit of this goal, we have introduced the Cross-Industry Step Change Initiative, with a specific target of reducing our current incident levels by 50% over the next 3 years. The energy industry of the new millennium will be an industry that works together for the ultimate goal of delivering an accident-free workplace. We want safety to be the priority, and this video is part of an education programme designed to re-emphasise the role and impact of safety leadership and behaviour on our safety performance. We train our people in all the technical aspects of their job function, but not in how to interact with people, something they must do every day. We want to achieve a work environment and culture in which accidents do not happen and are no longer acceptable. It won't be easy to develop a people-centred approach. Our industry is highly technical and commercially aggressive, and we have traditionally adopted a command and control style of management. We will have to put aside some of our old-style behaviours and move out of our comfort zone. It's time for our industry to work together to harmonise goals and to demonstrate leadership and commitment in the management of safety. Safety is the responsibility and accountability of line management from the top down. It is also the responsibility of each and every person involved in the job or operation, from the planners to the people who physically carry out the work. Everybody is responsible for getting safety right. Although safety performance has improved considerably, incidents still occur that can only be attributed to the human factor, as we will demonstrate in the following sequences. In any of the situations that you're about to see, individuals could have changed the outcome by making safety the priority, properly assessing the risks, and taking the time to do the job safely. This first sequence shows an incident involving an offshore crane. The supply boat has only one piece of inadequately packaged equipment on board, to be handled by a solitary deckman in marginal weather conditions. The result is almost inevitable. The second incident takes place during a drilling operation in Alaska.
We were 4 days into the hitch, and on October 14, 1997, and we just completed running a 7-inch liner. And we were laying down all of our power tongs, the slips, and the elevators. The first load we sent out was the power tongs, And I went down to the bottom of the beaver slide to swing them out to the side so that we could send out the slips and the elevators on the second load. I went down and swung the power tongs out of the way, and then I signaled for the forklift driver to come in so that he could latch onto it and bring it out. I was trying to stay off to the side there like with standard operating procedure because the door was open up above. And I heard a clank up above, and I looked up and I saw the spotter standing there looking down at me, and I thought I made eye contact with him. I bent over to try to re-tie onto the load again, and the next thing I know, I was digging my face off the mat board there. Next thing I know, I was picking my face up off the floor, or off the rig mat there. And I was trying to feel my nose. I couldn't feel my nose. I was running my hand across my face. It didn't hurt, but I knew something was wrong because I could see blood and everything. So.
In this next clip, two 10-kilometre pipelines are being pressure tested at around 6,000 psi when an ROV detects a leak in a flanged T-piece about 3 kilometres along the line. A diver confirms the leak at the manifold T-piece. The supervisor requests confirmation of the leak area, and the diver indicates the plug and points to a second leak. The supervisor then asks for the pressure to be increased to pinpoint the precise positions of both the primary and secondary leaks.
And a slight leak coming from the top right-hand plug, yeah? Okay.
The diver then attempts to tighten the plugs with an open spanner, while the supervisor repeatedly cautions him to be careful about his position.
Be careful where you're going to be though with this. If you're happy with it, have a go with it. If you had a socket, it'll be okay, yeah? Okay. Yeah, you're right in front of that. You're right in front of that. Just don't get right in front of them. There's 400 bar in there. Yeah. Get up on the diver, please.
While both participants were obviously well aware of the danger of the situation, they carried on regardless. This incident could have been prevented if risks to personal safety had been considered as the priority. These people were lucky. None of the events so far depicted resulted in serious permanent disability or loss of life. Yet it only takes a series of events, and maybe not even related events, to change a situation dramatically. Let's remind ourselves of what can happen when things go really wrong. In July 1988, a major overhaul was being carried out on one of two gas pressurisation pumps on the Piper Alpha platform in the UK sector of the North Sea. In addition, a pressure relief valve had also been removed for maintenance, although the permits for these two jobs were not cross-referenced. As the relief valve work was not complete by the close of that day's shift, the newly appointed contractor's supervisor decided to finish the job the next day.
All right, lads, pack it up. We're not running over here. I'll have to finish in the morning, I guess.
He returned the permit to the control office, but as the supervisor was busy, signed it and left it on the desk. The control room supervisor accepted the permit without checking the job site himself. A clear but not unusual breach of procedures. The contractor's supervisor had received no training in safe systems of work. In fact, no regular, formal, safe procedures of work training ever took place.
Phase 1 operator, over.
Go ahead.
We've got a trip on B pump. Better get down here and have a look at it. Over.
When the remaining pump tripped out and could not be restarted, it is believed that the night shift crew decided to reinstall the spare, under the impression that it had been isolated. They were unaware of the secondary maintenance job that had been started on the pump, and did not know that the relief valve had been removed and replaced by a temporary blank flange.
All right, give that a go. Get on, zone 3.
Maintenance lead hand, we've got a trip on two of the centrifugal compressors. Over.
Later that evening, an explosion occurred in the gas compression module, starting an oil fire. But the oil fire itself may not have been so serious if it had not been fuelled by the two other producing platforms that fed into the same pipeline system.
You can see the bloody fire from here. We really should shut down right now.
Their fire pumps should be coping. I'm still trying to reach the centre.
Look, they just told us there's men in the water. They've abandoned the bloody rig. What more do you want?
ECC, do you read? This is Claymore, over.
The Piper gas risers gradually weakened under the force of the fire, and eventually fractured. As the tragedy unfolded, about 100 men gathered in the accommodation block. Some even deliberately made their way there, despite the thick black smoke. One of the 28 survivors who jumped overboard from this point was later asked why he had headed for the accommodation area. His response was both simple and moving. He did not want to die alone. The public inquiry report argued that a poor safety culture was an important determinant of this accident. The implication of this statement is profound. Mechanical processes and procedures alone do not create a safety culture. That culture is the product of visible safety leadership and workforce involvement. As one of the Cullen Inquiry assessors later concluded, the sum and quality of our individual contribution to the management of safety determines whether the colleagues we work with live or die. And on the 6th of July 1988, 167 died. In closing, we'd like to leave you with this message. Make safety the priority in your work and home life. Our mission is to achieve a step change in safety performance, and to do this we need your help.